Guys, I swear that when you've been told your entire life that the cold is bad, and then when you get older you discover this guy named Wim Hof, and it's this crazy dude climbing Mount Everest, and he says it's good for you to take ice baths and stuff, and it can heal your body. Holy shit, man, I want to explore that world. That's I literally have so many people telling me, put a shirt on, dude. Why don't you got a coat on? You're going to get sick. I'm sure a lot of you guys going out there, I just went for like a 45-minute walk like this. I feel amazing. I want to explore that world. Now that I know that's good for it's funny that just hearing someone say, hold on, the cold is probably good for you. You're like, whoa. Just imagine what that does. I used to hate winter. All right, we're going to start talking about, but I used to hate winter, and now I like, winter's not that bad just because I heard it might be good for me. It's crazy. So here we go. This is Jordan Hawley said, sweet video man, can you make a video on video games? He plays video games for a long time. The games keep reeling him in. And then we have a beautiful response by Leon Caruthers. And guys, let me touch on this because I do live streams now playing video games. Video games are fucking awesome. Seriously, Horizon Zero Dawn that I'm playing right now, one of the best games I've ever played. And if we look at the majority of people that play, the sex is normally males. You have a large male audience. And I believe that video games have such a large male audience is because they spark something in us that we don't really get to experience in life. I mean, these fantastic adventures, hunts for treasure, these wars that we don't fight these days, combat, violence, right? Sports. So it's a very thing that like men need, but we don't get so often. So we'll talk about that a little more, but right now let's read Leon's comment. He said, find something else. Anything else that has some practical value in the real world. And just so I clear this up, I'm not telling you to stop playing video games, okay? I think that video games should be an addition to life. They should not replace it, okay? There's a big point there. They're supposed to be like an asset. They're supposed to be a fun thing, but not over, like totally taking over life. So here it is. Anything else that has some practical value in the real world and isn't something you're learning in school. Small engines, art, furniture, restoration, gardening, another language. Anything you can find that has some sort of real value. Throw yourself into mastering it, conquering it. Your mind craves achievement. That's the pull of the game. So go achieve something real, something undeniable, intangible. Beautifully written, brother. Thank you for that. And let's talk a little bit about what that comment means. So not just for video games, but we understand that as men, we want to fight, we want to fuck, and we want to eat. We also want to climb mountains and sail the seas and explore new territories. You see, we want to go to space. We want to see what's out there in the galaxy. I've heard a quote that we live in a sort of time, a very sad time, because we'll never really, for us right now, we only say we live about 100 years. We're never going to get that far in space, and we're never going to really live in a significant time where like revolutionary stuff is happening. Like we discovered America, it's crazy. There's no really new land to discover, and we're not really that far out. Space is fucking huge. So, the rites of passage, becoming a man. And I believe there's pretty much 2 to 3 different, we'll touch on 2, maybe 3 today. But as he said, getting into something that is an art, getting into something like small engines, a skill, building that so that it forces your mind to take on a new project or perception of the world. And when you do that, you discover a world of new stuff. Now look, I suck at automobiles, but if you like automobiles, maybe that's for you. And just trying new things, guys, there is so much to do in the world. And I believe that what is lacking for most men is that we live in this box. What box are you in? I think it was D-Fuck in the stream today that said, I'm in a box, help me get out. And I was like, which box are you in? And dude, like seriously, which box are you in? Because I think a lot of the boxes that we're in now are, how do we get women? What do I do with my career? But seriously, man, how do you get women? It's like women have become the main fucking focus. Why are they the main fucking focus? Is it because of how they're displayed on porn? Is it because of feminism? Is it because of the mother as a young, what is it? It doesn't matter what it is, but it's there. That is a box that a lot of us get stuck in. Elisha, how do I approach a girl? How do I deal with approach anxiety? How do I talk to a girl and what the fuck do I say? Why is that even a question? But I'm not shaming you, because that's a question in my mind too that I've had to deal with. And the answer is right there, okay? Right there. What we've lost is the rite of passage as a man. Think about in a tribe, initiation time, motherfucker. As a young boy, you go out on a hunt and you kill your first animal. It happened to Aloy in the newest game. She had to go on a hunt and prove herself to the tribe. How about those one tribes where you have to stick your hand inside of the mitt and get bit by fire ants, or get your body pierced and tattooed and pinned by like 1,000 needles, where you have to actually fight someone like the Spartan, fighting from a young age, and eventually kill someone. You see, we don't have any rites of passage anymore. So what happens is that we are born as a baby, we become a boy, and a lot of the times we stay a boy in our psychology, in the way that we think. And we turn to very petty stuff, and oh my God, petty stuff is there. And not just the word petty, man, but a lot of stuff that grabs your attention and gives you nothing, just more stuff to worry about. TV shows, you can pick any show and you can get caught in the drama. You can go anywhere and get caught in drama, in the news, in newspaper, in school. It's everywhere. And see, so we attach ourselves to that, and then we have these worries of, what do I do with my life? Instead of actually living life. How do I talk to that girl? We spend our time thinking. And then, you know what I've been catching myself doing? I don't want to spend my time thinking, man. I do a lot of thinking. That's why I have a lot to share. And eventually I will regret that when I get older. And I realize that I spent my time thinking and not doing, wondering what happened instead of making things happen and experiencing the beauty of life. You see, we have not had that rite of passage that forces us to develop skills, to go out into the world. Guys, the world has so much to offer, and what I really want to tell you now is that if you have the ability, 2 legs, there is so much that you can experience. You can go for walks, you can go for runs, but you can also learn skills, and you can also do really amazing things. Now, for myself right now, I don't have a lot of money, okay? I don't have a lot of resources for myself. So I can't buy a mountain bike right now and go mountain biking, but I would love to. I can't travel around the world, but I would love to. So what I'm saying is, if you are in a situation where you've been thinking about taking a Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu class and you have not done that yet, what is stopping you? Okay, if you have the resources, the money, you know, whatever, make it an effort to do that. Traveling can be a man's best teacher because it gets you out of your fucking head and the world, your box, and then you discover new cultures. You discover a world outside of your head. What you know, the same streets that you walk up and down every day, the same gym, the same people you see all around your city that you went to high school with. Traveling can teach you a lot. And it's unfortunate that I say that, unfortunate, because I want to travel, and I will travel one day. All over the world. I'll meet all you guys. We'll have a little meetup. And you better have dinner ready, for sure. So, doing more. The call of the wild, the call to action. Do more, my brothers. Do more with your time. Don't get stuck worrying about women. Don't get stuck in worry at all. As long as you are experiencing life, get on your bike, go on a hike, get your friends, and have a book club, go out and have a night out and just have a blast, experience the beauty of life, and it takes you out of this mental hell, if you will. Okay, so moving on to the next one with the rite of passage. And then the second one is what psychologists talk about is the right and left brain. Okay, and the left brain is associated with the ego. The ego is responsible for most of the thinking and analytical, and then the right brain is the abstract, the creative mind. It is the mind that creates art, that finds beauty in the world. It looks at it's fun. I'm trying to paint a picture of a right brain, but the right brain is the creative, the left brain is the manager. We'll say that. Okay, so as we get older, we become very left brain because we live in a world that loves the left brainers. We love for people to sit at the desk and do their work, and we've been into a school where all the teachers love the left brains. Here's your A, little left brain. And we were excited to get that. And see, as you get older, you become so left brain that you lose that creativity. But there's a very fine point, is that by being creative, this feeds your identity. The art, the creativity feeds your meaning of yourself. It feeds the ego. Okay? It makes you human. And discovering the beauty of the world through your creation, discovering meaning through exploring. Go to an art museum. Create your own art. Your own music. Learn an instrument. Something that takes over your mind. And I kind of got these points jumbled up, but that's okay. We're going to move on into, so we don't have any more rites of passage. So by being in a comfortable world, by being raised and pampered, it's made us soft. It's made us like little babies, always on the tip. And when our mother pulls us away, we cry. And it is through the exposure. You almost have to, in a sense, take the responsibility on yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to expose myself to a harsher environment or to more stress than what I have. See, what we're dealing with is more of like an unrealistic stress. We put our brains in these future scenarios that have not happened yet, and we suffer the consequences that have not happened yet because of that. So what we have to realize is that we need stress in the body, and not stress from, toxic food. We need stress from the cold. If you go out into the cold and take a walk in the cold, or submerge yourself in ice, buy some ice and take a bath, that will do more for you, dude, than like any psychologist, any self-help. When you understand that cold, seriously, that's why I'm doing this. I believe it so much. Or when you expose yourself to extreme heat, okay, sitting in a 90 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees. So 90 Celsius, or what would it be for me? It's 90 for you Celsius. It's 190 for me. All right, Fahrenheit. And that is going to shock your body, because you're now putting it through something that wakes you out of your fucking sleep. It wakes you up, man. And that is very much needed. That is very much needed to be alive. And I think that no one really is talking about this too much. No one's taking it seriously. They may be just kind of doing it themselves with their cold shower. But man, that's why we lift weights, to really stress the muscle. That's why we go on long runs. And so finishing up with this rite of passage is the ability to find your identity within a tribe. And we've talked about tribes a lot, and we'll leave it here, but your men are very important. And if you can do all these things with your men, if you can have the fellowship of men, then you have something that is very precious and is very at the core of a man's nature, at the masculine. A king and his men, right? His army, your army You don't have to be the king. You don't have to be the leader. You can be a leader for every man, and every man is a leader to guide one another and help build each other up. That's what it's all about. You see, I think where we've come these days is this point where we're very narcissistic. A lot of us think that we're the shit because we have not been through the rite of passage. We haven't experienced the stress from hunting in a harsh environment. Too hot, too cold, too little water, too little food. We're very pampered. So we've developed this cocoon in our brains. The narcissistic mindset is I'm better than everyone. I can bend things to my will. And we almost do this because we know our own worth. And our own worth scares the fuck out of us because we see ourselves as these weak little babies in a world that is so we tell ourselves and we spin this tale of power. The narcissist, you can look at it as the magician. The magician can bend things to his will. He can make stuff disappear and pull a bunny out of a hat and a card flash before your eyes and then go into a deck, whatever. A magician is very closely related. The narcissistic feels like this. See, but on the total opposite spectrum would be think about like the handyman or the plumber, guy fixing your washing machine, who has to subject himself to the parts of the whole and then try and piece everything together. He has to listen. He has to look. He has to open up and peer in and see what's wrong. And then from there he can put together. The narcissistic person just thinks that everything is going, everything's going to work out for him because he said, and when it doesn't, that's when all shit is mayhem. And that's when shit goes wrong. And he pouts and he cries. And I've been there. I've been narcissistic plenty of times in my life, thinking I'm the shit, thinking I'm the best. It's not how it works. Guys, when you get in that mindset, it is through peering, it is through opening it up and really saying, I don't know. And since you don't know, now like everything is, oh, wow, this is amazing. If you go through life, you're thinking you know everything, man. It makes life boring. Subjecting yourself to the world, to, hey, maybe the cold isn't that bad. Maybe the cold is my friend. Maybe it's my teacher. Maybe it's my God. Maybe, just maybe, girls aren't that important. Maybe I've got the wrong idea about what I should talk to a girl about. What if I got busy living instead of thinking? Busy doing instead of worrying? How would you start talking to people then? We're going to cut it out here, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a comment. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.